Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of our show, Fancy That Podcast. And as usual, we are your hosts, Ishti and Ashik. Hello, Ashik. How are
Hey,
you?
thank you for inviting me again, obviously. How about you?
Yes, I am cool as always, and that is the point if I'm not feeling any form of illness. Okay, so today we're going to talk about breakups. So, actually, how the breakup should be. That is the point that we need to discuss today. And many of our listeners have already informed me about their breakups, and maybe sooner or later we're going to have an episode made just for them. So today we're just going to go on with simple structures of actually what leads to breakup and how we should handle the breakup. And for us human beings, especially boys, we tend to not actually take the breakup so lightly, and we take it more like personally. So, what should be done and how to actually overcome and get a self building on so that we never face the breakup in the first place anymore. So, today we're going to have a broader discussion on each and every one of the points we have here. So, Ashik, how do you actually feel about the breakups?
Well, first of all, we talked about from the very first episode how to be in a relationship. We did not really go that deep, which we'll do in future episodes, but we did talk about all the aspects in general from beginning to end in as
Yeah,
much depth as we could, given the time constraint.
yeah,
Now, breakups are literally the saddest part of the relationship, but that is a part, an essential part. So we have to talk about it. Now, what I want to say is that breakups are an essential part of the relationship, and that is because we should not, and that is why actually, that is why we we it doesn't have to be a very painful thing. It doesn't have to be a cause of your suffering. There is a right way of breaking up, there is a wrong way of breaking up. There is nothing right or wrong, but there is a more efficient way of breaking up, which would cause this process to be a little less painful. Okay? That's what we're probably going to discuss in this episode. But what I want to say is that breakups are an inevitable, I would not say inevitable part of a relationship, but this is a very common part, and this is normal. It is okay to break up. You cannot take breakups personally. That is because the textbook definition of a relationship, as I always say, I got from Corey Wayne, the coach, is a relationship is a way of growing together. If you grow together, if you stay together, you grow together. If you cannot grow together, you grow apart. The way you do that is break up, is end the relationship. And most of us, we feel like if we break up, if we go through a breakup, we take it personally, especially if guys get dumped. That's
oh my
obviously
God.
guys take it personally. I mean,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
sort of makes sense because they got dumped.
Yeah,
So
and I'd like to add to it. Sorry for cutting you off like that.
no,
I'd
definitely
like
I'm
to add
done.
to it. The point that we are actually being hurt, actually the girl is not going to care for it, but when we actually feel we are hurt, it's actually us that are making us hurt, because
Yep.
that person is not knowing even how we're feeling at this moment. So I feel it's all up to us how we feel. If we want us to feel sad I think we're going to be sad our entire life. And if we think that we need to feel happy, then we can definitely do happy things for us that's gonna keep us going with our life and make ourselves more interesting. So I feel it's all on us. If
That's a
I
good
think I'm broke,
definition. Exactly. That is, so I heard someone say that, I guess Mark Douglas or Sadhguru, both of them say the similar things, that happiness is like, you don't do things to become happy. You are a
yeah,
happy person who do things,
yeah, definitely.
right? So
I
your
like it. Yeah,
relationship or breakup, nothing would bring you happiness if you are not a happy person. Now, if you are a happy person, being in a relationship would definitely amplify those emotions because you have another person to share those with or go through with. But a relationship will not make you happy, neither will a breakup. So what I was trying to say is that, like, you cannot take breakups personally, right?
okay. So, on that note, I'd like to continue. In my observation, I have seen different forms of breakup, especially in the eastern side that I live in of the world. I've seen people, like a person calling his or her girlfriend or boyfriend and just asking for a breakup in the face
Suddenly.
directly,
That is actually common
suddenly,
in all
and
sorts of part of the
cruelly.
world, not just eastern part. That's how
Yeah,
breakups
but
happen. Suddenly it comes
yeah,
up like a thunder and nobody knows where it come from.
and especially for the eastern part, I've seen parents invading in and setting them apart, breaking all forms of communication. And I've also seen breakups that I feel should be the main way of breakup, that has mutual understanding between them, like the boy and the girl talks the problem out, and when they decide and get to see that they're halting each other, I think at that point they decide to grow apart. Maybe they're keeping in touch, knowing about each other, continuing conversation, but they are just setting their goals apart, their ways apart, and growing up. So, what do you actually feel about the ways of breakup?
Well, you mentioned about the parents intervening, that part. It is kind of interesting because in my opinion, parents should not do that. Actually, should not intervene and force their kids to break up. Being
But
said
yeah,
that,
yeah, I
being
feel
said
that,
that,
but mhm.
relationship is literally an adult game. You should be
Yeah,
adult enough to understand what is good for you and how to conduct that thing. Parents intervene because kids, literally kids, go into a relationship. That should not be the ideal case. You can learn about relationships. You should definitely learn about relationships from a very early age when you're a kid. But if you go in a super committed relationship and when you are a kid, before you know anything about yourself or what you want or what kind of person you are, how to deal with this kind of things, age doesn't matter. Don't get me wrong. Age doesn't matter. Okay? If maturity counts, you can be a 60-year-old person and supremely immature. Okay?
yeah,
And you can be a
definitely.
6-year-old and a mature guy. I'm not saying go in a relationship from 6 years of age, but the point is, you have to know how to deal with these things. And once you are mature enough to deal with the problems that come in a relationship, if you know how to like maintain a relationship, there won't be any problems, just like we shared in our previous episode. But from a very early age, guys or girls, nobody knows how to deal with that, and that basically affects your studies, your purpose, your passion, and all that shit. So you cannot let your relationship affect any other part of your life. Relationship cannot affect health, career, and your overall happiness. If it does, that means that is basically a toxic relationship, or you are the toxic one in that relationship. So you have to fix yourself, not the other
Definitely.
person. You have to fix
Yeah,
yourself. You have to know how to weather the storm and maintain a relationship properly. The goal is not to be in a relationship. The goal is to be in a happy relationship. That helps you support and grow your overall life, like other aspects of your life and other aspects of life of the person you're dating. So I do not recommend parents breaking that up, but I also do not recommend people starting relationship at a super early age before knowing all this stuff.
yeah. So that actually never goes off with good remarks.
Yeah, exactly.
Maximum the cases that I've seen have all broken up,
Yeah.
and all have been like disasters. They have had
What kids do, they
education
bunk
problems.
classes.
Yeah,
You're a teacher, you know that. I'm a teacher.
yeah,
I know that. I do not recommend.
yeah,
I recommend you go in a healthy relationship. I recommend you to like be happy. But if you bunk your job, if you bunk your classes, if you just for the sake of dating the person, spending time with that person, then that is going to definitely affect your studies. The people, what they do is they bunk classes, they stop studying, they talk on the phone, over the phone with the other person. So if you have followed one of my, like any of our previous episodes, I never recommended you to talk over the phone for hours long. Kids do
yeah,
that. Not even
yeah,
kids, everyone do that. They feel like that's what makes their relationship strong. But if you're a guy, if you keep things mysterious, if you give like small doses of your sweetness
yeah.
and over a long period of time, that makes it more attractive. Like we all like sweets and ice cream, but if you ask someone to eat 1 ton of ice cream, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah,
Ice cream is good as a dessert at the end of the day, at the end of the food, like meal. Okay, so relationship is
yeah,
just something that makes your life sweet. You cannot survive on a sweet life completely like full of sweets, because your tummy would get bigger because of a lot of sugar, and it would be totally unhealthy, right? So
yeah.
relationship is
And
like a cherry on
you'd
top.
even you'd even feel like not eating the ice cream for the next few years,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like a
exactly, it's too much. So what else, the point is, as you mentioned, the final type of breakups is like breaking up in the proper way. So in this episode, we're going to be basically talking about how to break up in a proper way. And believe me or not, there is a right and a wrong way of breaking up. There is a proper way that would help both of you and your family and whoever is around you. So, want to add something to that?
um the thing is, for the proper way of breakup, what I feel is the mutual understanding is the main thing. And I do not actually like the direct dumping things that actually takes the personality apart from one another, and like you start feeling hatred towards the other person. And there are some scientific activities in it as well, as you know. So I think instead of filling up yourself with the toxic, that's actually not going to impact the girl. I think you should keep yourself busy in developing yourself. And I think you should keep on developing yourself so that you don't make the similar mistakes
Yeah.
in your next um, relationship. But I have seen people who have been dumped or underwent any form of breakups. I've seen them feeling very worthless, feeling taking it so personally that they feel they don't deserve to die. They don't. I mean, they
They don't
deserve to
deserve to
die.
die. Okay.
They deserve to die. They don't deserve to be loved at all. They feel like their life is just too much worthless that they even decide to conduct suicide. So
You brought about a very interesting topic actually. So, and the topic of being dumped is inevitable if you have been doing the things wrong for the recent couple of months or a year. If you do everything wrong, being dumped is inevitable. That's why you re-listen to or re-watch our previous episodes and learn what you how you can prevent being dumped. Well, when you are being dumped, like what we are trying to promote is that having a breakup is normal. It's totally okay to break up and grow apart. But it is not okay if you had to go through a breakup because of your own fault, because of your doing things wrong, because of your making her upset. That is not wrong. That's what we're trying to share here, that do not get dumped because of your own fault. It's okay to break up, but prevent that dumping part.
Okay.
Your relationship should be under your control or choice. For example, wherever you go to eat should be out of your choice. Okay?
Yeah.
Wherever, like how long you are conducting the relationship should be your choice. You should be in complete control of the relationship. I'm not saying you are controlling that person. I'm not saying
Yeah.
being manipulative and a controlling person. I'm saying that you are in control of the relationship. You are in control of the conversation by asking questions. You are in control of the how sweet the relationship. And if you are in control of the relationship, you can make the relationship as sweet as you want, right? So don't be a manipulative or a controlling person. What I'm saying is that you, when you break up, it should be out of your choice. You feel like that, well, this is not working between us because I have a certain goals, I have a certain purpose in or destiny in my life that I need to fulfill, and it is not going there because of this relationship. Or maybe she wants to go somewhere or achieve her dreams or something, and your relationship is basically stopping that from happening. At that point, you might decide to mutually break it up. But if you get dumped because of your dumbness, that is definitely not okay. So that's when you should probably invest in your own personal development. I'm not talking about toxic positivity, I'm talking about genuine personal development. You know what? The interesting thing is, after my second breakup, I started going to the gym. That's why basically I'm kind of like more healthy and stuff. So you
Okay.
could take up something instead of self-loathing, hating yourself, and feeling like you don't deserve to be loved. Guys, take it personally. Don't take it personally. Breakups are not personal. You can take it personally if you are dumped, but then it is an opportunity for growth ultimately, right?
Yeah.
Relationship
Yeah.
is an opportunity for growth. Either you grow together or you grow apart, right? Want to add
Yeah.
something to that?
So, what externally I'd feel that for a guy, uh, taking it personally, I think you should not take it personally. But in terms of taking personally, I think there are two types of it. If you're taking it personally, take it positively,
Yeah.
personally, so that you can develop yourself.
Yep.
If you take it negatively, I think you'll end up being a loser that
Yeah.
she
Ultimately.
told you you were, and you're never going to get anyone. And even if you cover up your weaknesses and get to another girl, she is going to leave you eventually yet again. And I think self development is really important. Self development can take us to new heights of success, and it can give us one of the most priceless dress that especially a man can wear: confidence.
Yep.
So I think breakup is a totally natural thing, and it can happen at any point due to any reason.
Yeah.
So if anything, every single thing has a negative and positive side. So I think for our own betterment, I think we should start taking the positive sides from every effects that we get, and only
So
then we can develop ourselves and continue climbing up the ladder.
yeah, we haven't talked about how to properly break up though. You wanna start?
Okay, let's go for it.
So let's talk about how should you properly break up. Okay, believe me, there is a right way of doing it, and we're going to share it just right now.
Okay.
So so one thing that you have to remember is that after you break up, you do not have to hate your ex girlfriend or boyfriend. You do not have to hate that person in order to move on. That is the most common misconception, that once you break up, you have to lose all the contact, you have to start hating that person. And that is very taxing and stressful on yourself, because if someone comes up and like stabs you in the back, your enemy or something, it would be easier to hate that person because that is your enemy that who tried to kill you. I do not recommend hating on anyone, because I'm going to tell you why. But it is easier to hate your enemy than someone whom you loved a few days back, a few moments back before the breakup, or maybe you still love someone. So you are loving someone and then you got dumped or something, and or maybe you are mutually breaking up. Then, like, it is super hard to convert that love into hate. That means your body is literally trying to convert a whole belief system. And
Yeah.
if you have realized that or not, if you knew that or not, Steve talked about it a few minutes ago. If you are angry on someone, or if you are hating on someone, or even yourself or something, you are literally producing harmful chemicals in your body. If you are happy, you are producing good chemicals like serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine. I don't want to name all of those. Endorphin, I did. But if you are stressed out, you are producing cortisol, and I don't know any other negative hormones, but there are chemicals that are being released in your body once you are once you are angry, or once you are hating someone. So basically what you're literally doing is that you are producing poison in your body, and the other person does not even know what you are going through, because you guys have broken up already. So
Yeah.
what you are doing is essentially, Sadhguru says that very well, that you are drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah.
Literally, she doesn't even know that you have a poison in your bloodstream, that you are hating
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah.
if you want to produce poison and drink poison, drink all and go. I don't know. People do that. Like, I'm joking. Don't suicide. Don't attempt suicide. You know why people do that? Like, they feel like this is the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. As I said, breaking up is very normal. I'm not encouraging you to go into a relationship every day and break up every day. I'm not at all saying that. I'm just saying that it is normal. After a very good relationship, there might be a relationship when nothing is wrong with you or the other person. There might be a perfect relationship, but you have to go through breakup. There might be situations like that. You cannot blame anybody. You should not, because that's what is producing harmful chemicals in your body. You do not have to hate the other person once you break up. The best way to break up is to break up lovingly. Now you might be kicking me. You might want to kick me and say, how do you break up lovingly? You are breaking up because you are hating that person, or why would you have to break up? I'm saying is that you are breaking up because the circumstance is such that you can grow better being apart. That's why you guys are
There's the
breaking
point.
up. So you don't have to hate the person whom you are breaking up with. You can love the person even after breakup. That basically means you are a loving person. You can love the person whom you are breaking up with. You can love your enemy. You can love a tree. You can go and hug a tree if you want. Okay? That basically means that you are a loving person. Okay? You don't have to hate. If you hate on anyone, that basically means you are a hating person. You don't want to be a hating person, because if you go to a new relationship with a new person, that hatred will like come off you. That vibe will come off you. Give off that hatred kind of a vibe, and she will notice that. And there would be a tendency, if you go into another relationship, of bad mouthing your ex. If you really hate her, that would give off a really, really bad vibe to that other person. You don't want that. Okay? So Once you break up, it should be in a loving way. One more thing that you can do is talk through it. Because let's say I ask you to take a cold shower, or maybe go and hit the gym with a heavy, like, dumbbell or barbell. If you are a newbie in the gym, and I start giving you, and I tell you to, pick up a 50 kilogram of a barbell or a dumbbell, you won't be able to do that because your arms are not as strong, right? So what I tell
Yeah,
you to do is
exactly.
start off with 5 kilogram, or like whatever, 10 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever your level is. We give
And
you like
slowly,
in small slow steps. So when you're breaking up, most people, what they do is they just cut off communications instantly. They start hating each other from love to hate in an instant. That is what makes it hard. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to convert your love into hate if you are breaking up. You don't have to take the poison pill at once. You don't have to cut up the communication. Okay? You don't have to do anything. You can, like, there are people who, for whom it is easy to be friends after that. I'm not telling you to be friends, but once you are breaking up, when you are breaking up, or while you are doing that process, it should be like through talking. You understand each other, and that will help both of you move on faster. Okay, so that would be easier, the transition would be easier, and for you it will be less emotionally stressful, and the next time you go to a relationship, you would be ready in, like, quickly, much quicker than if you have to hate someone, right? So that's what you call the right way of breaking up. It makes easier for both of you. If you think that, okay, I want to hate her, I don't want to, like, she caused me pain. She is not causing you pain, because we are assuming that you are not getting dumped.
yeah,
We are assuming that you are doing it because the circumstance demands it. You know what you're doing. You kept her happy throughout the relationship, so you are not getting dumped. You are breaking up because both of you need it, or at least one of you need it, and you are being the supporting guy. Okay, so you are breaking up, so that means you don't have to hate the other person. You can be a loving person, love and respect the other person. That would basically help you. I'm not talking about the person who you're breaking up with. I'm basically talking for you, that it will definitely help you if you break up this way, not the hating way.
okay. So, with that note, we would like to conclude our episode here. Hopefully, to all our listeners and viewers, hopefully, all of you have had the extraordinary chances of going through step by step process in actually a relationship, a romantic relationship path with us till this episode. So, for the next episode, we would like to ask you to wait for and do listen to us and do hear us on our podcast episodes on our different podcast radio shows. And definitely, we are available at YouTube. So, with that said, I and Ashik will be signing off today. Thank you
By
for
the way, a
joining us.
surprise is waiting for you in the next episode.
All right, so next episode is gonna be our season finale.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Till the next season, we are signing off today. Thank you
Woohoo!
for listening to us. Keep us in your prayers, and thank you for your time. Love you.